It's incredibly exciting, although sadly, we must begin by addressing Wednesday's heartbreaking events in Parkland, Florida, where yet another school shooting left 17 dead and many injured. These events are now so familiar, we basically automatically know how each side will play out. Thoughts and prayers? Fuck your thoughts and prayers. It's a mental health problem, yeah, but it's also a gun problem, and then someone says, now's not the time to talk about gun control, and everyone moves on until it inevitably happens again. But this time felt slightly different. Because when the now's not the time argument came out, the kids from that school said, you know what? Yes, it fucking is.
They have us thinking that this is inevitable and that we can't do anything to stop it. It's too difficult. We're done with that.
Someone who isn't even allowed to buy alcohol legally is allowed to buy a war weapon? Like, where does that make sense?
They say that no laws could have been able to prevent the hundreds of senseless tragedies that have occurred. We call BS! That us kids don't know what we're talking about, that we're too young to understand how the government works. We call BS! If you agree, register to vote, contact your local congresspeople, give them a piece of your mind.
We call BS. It is a little ironic that the people who are acting with the most maturity in this horrifying situation aren't even old enough to say the word bullshit in front of their parents. Those kids have already announced a march next month, and in doing so, they are challenging adults to participate in a real conversation about gun violence. But they will be up against it. Because when one adult was asked this morning about whether Republicans would take notice of these kids' concerns about guns, this was his response.
We have a culture thing here that we're not discussing. I mean, when I grew up, it was Andy Griffith, and you never had school shootings, and we still had prayer in school. And we drove to school with guns in the car. I say we, I would see students that did that. Today, we are in a different time when not the media, but movie industry, the rap industry, radio in general talks about these things that are common now. And we have almost desensitized it. Now we have to worry about kids eating Tide Pods instead of discipline.
What? I call BS on that. There are so many things wrong there, from the rap industry to the Tide Pods to the fact that that man was born in 1969, a year after the Andy Griffith Show went off the air, which I guess means that he may never have actually seen it, because not only did Sheriff Andy Taylor not carry a gun, he was happy to explain why.
When a man carries a gun all the time, the respect he thinks he's getting might really be fear. So I don't carry a gun because I don't want the people of Mayberry to fear a gun. I'd rather they would respect me.
Yeah, the sheriff has got a point. And the people of Mayberry did respect him, despite the fact, and this is true, he ate Tide Pods all the time. Now, meanwhile, the Trump administration